Hey guys, I hope you're well. Thank you so much for joining me today. You're tuned into pro.Gnosis. My name is Pharaoh Simo Samana, and come on, you already know by now that I'm honored to be your guide. I've been thinking lately about, well, thinking. Think about it. Have you ever thought about thinking? Have you ever thought about thought? Have you ever put thought into thinking? Thinking is a very, very interesting mechanism of consciousness. And, well, I would argue, as well as many other non dualists would, that thinking, I think anyway, is everything. Now, if you're familiar with dualism versus non dualism, you probably likely know where I'm headed with this. But if you don't, and well, even if you do, let me explain what I mean. Think about it. Okay, I'm done. Seriously, though, throughout your day to day, on average circumstances, what you would call an average day for yourself, do you choose what to think about? Or do thoughts come and go at random and then you just filter them appropriately? I've been asking people this over the course of the last couple of weeks, and pretty much every person I asked, except one person, I don't know how many people I asked, I'd say probably around 30 people. All but one said, well, they don't choose really what to think, usually. Throughout their day to day, they'll have thoughts come and go, and they filter them appropriately. Well, I'm part of that group. I don't think about what to think. I don't choose what to think. Thought acts as its own mechanism. And it's almost like mind has a mind of its own. To further illustrate my contention, let's do a very quick demonstration. Right now, I want you to think of any random memory you have. Go. Do you have that memory? Now, when the request came to think of the memory, did you start consciously thinking of different memories you had and then you picked one? Or did your mind just sort of automatically pick a memory at random? How much control did you really put into picking that memory? Yeah, it's the one you chose, but were you putting effort, conscious effort, into scanning your mind for those memories? It's likely that you didn't. I'm not saying that it's impossible that you did, but it's safe to say most of you watching had a memory come up, and yeah, okay, that's a good memory. Let's pick that one. This poses a interesting question to me because if we didn't choose that thought, and in a more generalized aspect, if we don't necessarily choose what we think and we just filter out appropriately, who or what is doing the thinking? Now, I've spent most of my life, I'm 33 years old. I've spent probably 33 of those years, maybe 33 of those years with the preconception that the body was the doer and that the mind was sort of the filter. But the more and more I really start to think about it and dive deep into this subject, the more that it's really starting to seem to me that the mind is the doer. And we just sort of filter the processes of the mind. And I would go as far as to argue to say that because of that, I mean, we're at the mercy of the mind. Now, we can control our thoughts to an extent, but we've already established that most of us don't think what to think. It just gets thought and we interact with that thought. It really, really is seeming to me that we're subject to our thoughts as opposed to our thoughts being subject to us. And the reason I say this puts us at the mercy of thought is because, I mean, take a look at your life. What is life? Let's ask that. What is life? Well, individually speaking, our lives are a based result of our actions. And minus like instinctive mechanism like breathing or a bit of compulsion or impulsion here and there, our actions always start with a thought. We think of something to do or something to say, and that causality then creates an effect. Our life is the collective effect of our actions, which stem from thought. So, wherever you're at in life right now is the result of the mind, and the mind only. It all starts with thought, right? And since it all starts with thought, it is really seeming that thought is all that there is. Neville Goddard said that all things exist in the human imagination. And what he meant by that is take a quick look around you. Wherever you are, just 2 to 3 seconds, scan your surroundings. Everything you see was a thought before it was a thing. Thought is really all that there is. Everything has to be imagined before it becomes a thing. This is fascinating. I just wanted to share that with you. Something to think about. Bye, guys.